Hello, Laura, Isabel, Matt. Thank you very much. Yes, it's been a certainly very eventful day as we follow this breaking coverage about the case involving these confidential documents. And I'm here today with Subodh Chandra, a former federal prosecutor. He was a former federal prosecutor for the Ohio Northern District. So to start things off, can we just explain to people what happened in the arraignment today for the former president?
So what an arraignment is, it's the initial appearance of a criminal defendant who's been indicted, where they then explain, the court explains the nature of the charges and makes sure that the defendant is advised of their rights. There might be a discussion of scheduling at the end of it, the right to counsel, and all those types of rights are explained. So it's that initial appearance where you appear and you answer to the complaint.
Okay, so he was in court today for the first time tied to these charges. Now, we've seen the indictment, it's been unsealed. What's the thing that's most noteworthy to you about what we saw in the indictment related to these charges?
Well, there's so many things that are remarkable about this. First of all, this is a speaking indictment, so we see the government pleading in great detail about the details and the evidence they think they have that would prove their case. There's so many things that are noteworthy because this situation is totally distinguishable from the situation involving, Vice President Mike Pence or President Biden, where documents are found inadvertently taken and then returned once they're identified. Instead, what you see the government identifying situations where Trump was willfully taking documents and then willfully holding on to them, and then details about obstructing justice once he was aware of the investigation. And then the other big thing is the kind of hoarding behavior where we see the photos and classified and national security documents, nuclear secrets being kept in a manner that's so sloppy, it's really quite shocking.
One other thing unique about this that we had mentioned when we were speaking earlier was the fact that we're seeing communications between him and his attorneys in this indictment. Tell me about the rarity of that.
Extremely rare. I mean, you had a ruling in this case that is very rare, that attorney-client privilege no longer protects the communications because the communications were in furtherance of a crime or fraud. And for that reason, you see Evan Corcoran's communications, and you can see why those are being revealed, because it does appear from the conversation that Trump is suggesting violating the law, including suggesting plucking classified documents from this hoard.
Okay, now as we look forward to what we will see as this trial plays out, are there concerns? How will the court deal with the fact that there are classified documents that will need to be in evidence?
There will be a hearing. In these kinds of national security cases, the government is entitled to a hearing in which it states which documents are okay to discuss a little bit publicly and which ones those documents have to be kept totally secret. And from the specific nature of what's in that indictment, these are incredibly important national secrets.
Very quickly, 10 seconds or less, your opinion as a former federal prosecutor, how do you see this playing out for the former president?
I think that the former President Trump is in deep, deep, deep trouble. I mean, if the government can prove even 3/4 of what they think they can prove, then he's in deep trouble, beyond a reasonable doubt.
Okay, thank you very much, Subodh. We appreciate your expertise in this area. Now, coming up at 5 o'clock, Laura, I'll be talking more about this case with Case Western Reserve University professor Jonathan Adler, so we'll have that coming up in the next hour.
All right.